Hello, my darlings. Marja West here. Welcome to Love, Truth, and Beauty, episode 295. This is our 9th installment of my video series, Conversations with Men. And I have with me today my very, very dear friend and colleague, also on the One Great Work Network, Glenn Tramm, who is the genius behind the Great Work Experience and his podcast, Eigan Pad. Please welcome Glenn Tramm. Hello, Glenn. How are you?
How are you, Marja? How are you doing?
I'm
fine.
Very good. And yourself?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
I'm glad you have me on your show.
I know.
I'm looking forward.
We've been trying to do this for a while. Glenn was generous enough to include me in his series on really de-occulting, for the most part, all of the Matrix movie installments, and it was really so much fun. And we did 4 shows together. So I wanted to have you on, really, Glenn, because one of the things that you've done is that not only have you disseminated a lot of the esoteric aspects of, say, like the tarot and Rosicrucian, but you're a father, and you're a man. You have relationships, and you're living the principles of natural life and natural law. And you started really creating content because your children asked you for further explanation. I want to hear about your pathway along the lines of natural law and integrating that, and also your role as a father and mentor to your children.
That is funny that you're asking that. Thank you for having the show again. I think it's a wonderful opportunity for me as well to explain some of the things, because sometimes you get angry people on the show or on my show, or people who doesn't necessarily agree with my point of view, or they're angry or whatever. So they don't know the background of me starting all of this. And basically, that's what you're asking me. Now, basically, I started 15 years ago, Marja. 15 years ago, I started with writing a book. The book, you can find it now on my website. You can find it on Amazon and different other bookstore. But I started to write that book 15 years ago, and the name of the book then was The Kingdom. It wasn't Anarchos. Now it's Anarchos. It's The Kingdom. It was The Kingdom. And I just got my first son was like 3 years old or something, and I became a father out of nothing, and I didn't know how, as many other people, how to go about this new change in my life. And I was really thinking about myself and say, am I really a good father? Am I really fit to be father? I mean, the creature is already there, and
they demand honesty. They demand honesty.
They demand, So now I see this little, newborn baby in front of me, and then now I'm thinking, okay, so how am I going to educate this kid? So it shook me a little bit, because I was like, okay, so how I'm going to address this? How am I going to explain things that are unexplainable? You can even say, because a lot of the things I didn't grow in a house where my father or my mother could tell me the answer of every question that I have. But I had some simple questions, like, how can I know that what I do is good, or what I don't know what I do is wrong? So that there was never a specific, concrete answer to that. I mean, this is something that you see all over the place, that kids and now grown-ups even, they don't know the objective difference between right and wrong. So that put me on the path to self-discovery. You can say I was already attending church, but the church story, that they didn't really they don't really answering anything. They just tell you to do stuff,
Yes.
right? Just tell you to pray and do what the pastor tells you to do, basically,
Yes.
or what the pastor thinks that's the right way to do it, or whatever. There is no concrete way. There is no really a real awakening of the self, or developing of the self. So it is funny that you want to talk about this, because now I have a whole series about Kabbalah and Tarot.
Love it.
It's in Dutch, yeah, unfortunately. But I go very relaxed. I have a whole season only for Kabbalah, and I'm going to be doing a whole season only about the tarot cards.
Beautiful.
So I'm going to be explaining all of these things one by one, and how this relates to the shadow work, so the work on the self. Because my personal reason why I'm doing my work is not only while doing it, I'm developing myself, obviously, but it will help others to develop themselves. Because I believe in my focus is not on the shit that happens out there. My focus is more on give me the tools,
yes,
so I can be a sovereign being.
Beautiful, beautiful.
That is
as well. It's why
yeah.
we get along.
Yeah. So that is my focus. So I put all my teachings, everything I do online on my show is based on one word, basically, is morality. And I want people to understand this concept of morality as good as possible. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, and sometimes I say to my own kids, it's like the best way I can do it, and I can tell you to do it, in like to be moral in like in one sentence, you can say, is just to leave others alone.
Yes. Yes.
That's like, and I think that is, it costs you nothing to
yes.
not, you know, it costs you energy to mess up with people and to force them to do something, but it costs you zero energy to leave them alone.
Exactly.
So don't force people. That is what I say. That is, like, for me, in the essence, in the heart of morality.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah?
And that is freedom.
That is freedom. Yeah.
Freedom to be who you are and allowing others to be themselves and different from you.
Yeah. So that is basically what the name of my show is as well. Is Your Own Pad, so Eigan Pad. So it's like giving you the tools so you can live your own life. As long, of course, you don't impede others to live their life.
Yes.
That's the key. So it's nothing too difficult in it, but apparently people don't seem to understand this simple principle.
Yes.
And to be the you know, to live your own life and to leave others alone, I think I personally believe you have to have the tools to be sovereign.
Yes.
And you have to understand. You understand nature. You understand yourself. You understand this concept that we call God, and then understand the relationship, the dynamic between these three. Yeah, you know, us, the creation, and the creator. You see what I mean? So, and then this three-way dynamic. So there is a system in place, and we think we are not part of that system. Sometimes we are so fallen in consciousness that we don't even understand how important this dynamic is. Okay, so we really see ourselves as individuals, and you know, to hell with everybody else. You know, fuck everybody else. It doesn't work. But it doesn't work like that. I mean, there is more to it.
Yeah.
So I started understanding this. Even though I went to church, I mean, I started to go to church 15 years of age. So it's, and then I was in it almost for 15 years. And in one sense, I'm happy. In another sense, I said, you know, time wasted. But on the other side, I say it's not really time wasted either, because through that process, it brought me to where I am right now.
Yes.
So I'm not really.
There was something more.
Yeah. So it's not really a regret, because I was looking for truth. Okay. So, and when I became a father, because this is what we were talking about, when I became a father, you know, something changed in me, really, because I said, you know what, I really need to have to get my shit together, because I have to have the answer when the kid come to me. When I went to my own parents, they couldn't answer me anything.
Mhm.
So I don't want to be like that with my kids, because otherwise they're going to go out in the world seeking for answers.
Exactly.
And if they are unlucky, the answer they were going to get will not be the right one. I was a little bit afraid of that.
Yeah.
So I wanted to have for myself the tools to give to my kids, because I don't believe in the government teaching my kids either.
Oh, hell no.
No, because that's a German indoctrination techniques they are using there.
Yeah.
I say German because that's the same technique they were using in the Second World War, and these are indoctrination techniques. They just tell you what you need to recite in the exam.
Yes.
And then if you don't do that, you failed. And if you say what they tell you, then you pass. So that's indoctrination. That is not engaging the thinking process of.
No, it is not.
Yeah. So, and that put me into the occultic path at the end, because I started writing the book, and so of course I divided the book in sections first, trying to get a sense of how the structure will look like and what I'm going to. And so at the first, I started it like the book was called The Kingdom because of my Christian, involvement as well. In the Bible, they were talking about this kingdom that will come after the second coming of the Christ. So if you're a little bit familiar with the Christian story, so I said, okay, so but after the kingdom, after the coming of the second, Christ, the second coming of the Christ, how will this kingdom, look like? If we have this apparently God on the throne, doing his thing, how would that look like? This is how I really started with the book.
Yeah, those are great questions.
Yeah, so because the Bible doesn't talk about how this kingdom will look like, and then something intrigued me even more. It was talking about a kingdom of kings and a kingdom of queens. So how can you have a kingdom, one king, like they call him the King of Kings? I understand that, okay, but then why do you call the subjects kings and queens then? So, and that answer I got it only if you look at it esoterically, not exoterically, but esoterically.
Yes.
So you have to really understand what is the kingdom, what is a king, what a king really is. A king is not an external person, not like we have a king in Holland.
Right. Not some kind of authority, ruler.
It's not an authoritative figure. No. In fact, that is the wrong way to look at the Bible even. That's the wrong way, because they were really when they're talking about the Christ or the kingdom or whatever, they were really talking about the self-mastery. So that is the reason why when I get involved in the occult, and I had a great deal of knowledge of the Bible, you can say, I started to put one-on-one. One-on-one is two. So I started to understand the Bible is not really there are stories that are true in there. I'm not dissing the whole book. There are truths being mentioned, obviously, but I started to see as well the corruptions. So like if I read a book called Roman, for instance, or Hebrews, so, but if you put it in perspective, those days, the political parties, they were trying to
their
control. Yeah, and to control. So now they're creating, and then the different groups that were involved in this control agenda were the Romans. And so the people, who were born in the Roman Empire, but also the Hebrews, because they were conquered all before, if you have to believe all these, biblical stories. So I started to put things in perspective, and based on and then afterwards, I got in contact with Marja material as well. That changed everything. The moment I started I wrote the book. And then, but I couldn't put like things as the Trinity. I couldn't really explain those things.
Yes.
So how can you have a God, triune God? You know, and later, of course, if you understand Kabbalah, that's why I'm doing Kabbalah as well right now, because I'm doing it for the Christians out there, because there are billions of Christians saying they are Christians, but in reality, they are Satanists.
Yes. Yeah.
You know?
They're not living it. It's a
At all.
complete opposite inversion of,
Yeah, the opposite of what a, because I do consider myself an esoteric Christian, not a normal Christian. An esoteric Christian is someone who understands that the work that has to be done is in the self, not a external God
yeah.
who will come and purge you from your sins.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you look at the word sin in the Bible, that's the thing. Even the Christians, they're not educated in their own Bible. So if you look at the Hebrew word for sin used in the Bible, is chata. It's chata. So it's chata. Chata means missing the mark. That's what it means. First of all, it let me, if I hear the word only chata, it let me think immediately on, I don't know why, but the zodiacal sign Sagittarius with the archer.
Yes.
You know?
Is your aim true?
Yeah. If you're aiming, are you aiming to the right, in the right, are you hitting the spot?
Yes.
And the beauty of it is I read a book, I think it was from Lamp Lash, I think the author was. The book was called Not in His Image, it's called, I think that's the book. And then it was talking about the Gnostics. It has a little bit of history of the Gnostics in there, which I found fascinating. And this author was saying that the Gnostics were not calling themselves Gnostics. They were calling themselves Telestai. And that's a Greek word, Telestai. And Telestai means those who aim, those who act correctly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this is like the opposite of chata. You know what I mean? So I say, hey, this is interesting. So a Gnostic will see himself or herself as one who understands the law,
mm-hmm.
natural law,
mm-hmm.
and who understand the objective difference between right and wrong actions, right? And who is aimed, who is focused, who is goal-oriented, who is someone who says, okay, this is what I'm going, this is the right action to do.
Right.
And I'm going to, I understand that, and I'm going to act accordingly. So these concepts fascinated me. So I wrote the book to first of all to convey to my kids that freedom is the king of kings. So if you want to have, this is something that I mentioned in my book as well. If you want to have kings, if you want to have presidents, ministers, all these types of authorities, if you really want that, let freedom be that. Let freedom be that one, personify it if you want to in your mind or whatever, and then fight for that, for that idea, for that king, freedom. So and let truth be your guide. Let truth be be a truth seeker.
Yeah.
So how can I convey this to my kids? How can I tell them, listen? So I try to, because I know kids don't like to read either. So
I read, but that was an escape. So
yeah, okay, so that's an escape. That's also possible, yeah. But normally kids nowadays they don't really read too much as well.
There's too much media. There's too much
media.
External devices.
Yeah. But I think reading is till this day, I think personally one of the best ways as well to internalize things, because you reading it, you have to use your imagination at some point.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So I think it's a good way as well to train the mind. But anyway, so I just thought it through, and I wrote the book. I wrote great portions of the book, and that forced me to start looking for information. So I started to become a truth seeker, which is in itself a very good thing because I'm transforming myself from being someone who doesn't like to go and look for these things in someone that have to.
Right.
You have to. So that's like the first transformation. It took me 15 years though, because there are a lot of things I didn't understand because I didn't have then, especially in the beginning, the right information.
Yeah. And you have to wade through all of that and discern and purge. And it's painstaking.
Painful. It was so painful. It was a painful process. And every time I open up my Word software, I was disgusted, but not because I couldn't write, for instance, but because I didn't know how to formulate it.
Yeah.
I mean, even today, when I read my book, I say, I couldn't change this, say it a little different. But the thing is, I still left it crude the way because it's a reflection of me as well. Then
yes.
Now I'm further, but
and you can do further editions. That's what I do.
I will be updating it. In fact,
I'm excited for you.
Yeah, I'm going to be revisited it. I'm revisited already.
Yes.
But at least it has the main concepts, the main ideas. Because I always tell people as well, the concept. I want you to understand the concept. I mean, don't focus too much on my language. Don't focus too much if I'm angry. Don't focus too much on if I say something wrong or if you get the concept, because the concept is freedom, absolute freedom, not liberalism. Yeah, right. Like people always say, we are liberal. We can do whatever we want. No, we can do as much they allow us to do. Yeah. So that is still slavery. That's maybe a less worsened type of slavery, but slavery nonetheless. What we have to do, so what we have to do is remove slavery completely. So the first thing I really desire to cultivate in the heart of my sons, and I don't know if I am succeeding with them, but at least I get feedback from other people that the book changed their life. So at least I am happy for that. Because sometimes in your own family, there are certain, resistance, which is, I personally feel very strange about that. I'm coming clean in your show here.
Tell me more about that.
So because most of the time when you if you as a father have done your homework and you have come to understand certain things and you want to bless your family with it, and sometimes your own family is more reluctant and more resistant to hear you than than strangers.
That's very true. I lost my family when I published my first book.
Yeah, so
that was it. I was told to fuck off and die. Basically.
No, I think the reason why I didn't lose mine yet is because they didn't read it.
Well, yeah. Wow.
So
I don't think mine did either. But
yeah. So the funny thing, sometimes I talk things in my show, or in any program that I created, and that relates to one family or a set of families. And I do it very comfortably because I know they don't watch my show anyway, so I can say it.
Exactly.
So that's the funny thing about it. But most of the time you see the bad behavior, the wrongdoing more in your own family.
Yes.
Than outside.
Yeah.
So I'm more a father for other kids, you can say, than for my own kids. That's very strange to say. That's because that not all my children consume all of my material.
Yeah, yeah.
And that hurts me, yes, it because I'm doing it for them.
Yes.
I know at least they read my book, and they have listened to the first part of my podcast. But I was starting to create these podcasts for them because my first marriage, I blew that one up. Not that I'm regretting, because I learned a bunch of things then.
Yeah.
But from the first marriage, I got 3 kids, and I didn't know how to educate them from afar, because that one time that you see them maybe in 1 week or maybe after 2 weeks, because there is you have to agree with the I mean, everybody who divorced know the story,
right?
So, and sometimes the other part, the ex-partner's schedule doesn't really agree with my schedule, so you don't see the kids. Sometimes you don't see them, and so how can you educate children?
Yes.
Like this,
Well, it's a shitstorm that prevents any kind of cohesiveness.
Yeah.
Because it wants to break up the family.
Yeah. So the system anyway wants to break up the family. I mean,
Totally.
I don't know in America, but in Holland, you get so much money when you are a single parent.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, they advocate for it. They really.
Yeah. I mean,
it's very similar here.
So you get, like, people, like women start to be, I mean, they don't even, and I know not all of women are like this, but sometimes you will get the feeling that they don't even try anymore, because they you will even hear them say, like, I don't need you as a man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can do everything myself.
Yeah.
It's
and
true.
That's a great divide. And I know this one personally.
Yeah.
It creeps up in my own life, even to this day. And I have to check myself. It's like, whoa, girlfriend.
Yeah.
You're getting triggered by this, and you're getting sucked into that black hole.
Yeah.
It's mental slavery.
Yeah. Because I would personally say, yeah, I understand, because I can do it also without a woman. That's not a problem. I mean, everybody can do it alone.
Yes.
Yeah. And alone you can come very far, but together,
yes.
I mean, you can go deeper.
I agree. I choose partnership and relationship.
Yeah.
I want that for myself.
Yeah. So it is something that it has to be conscious, and you have to, if you have a partner, it's just not something that you should, take it for granted.
Yeah.
So I blew that one up. So the first one. So my question is, okay, so how can I at least mitigate the damage? Because kids are going to grow up, and you will say they have both parents. They need both parents. They need the father and the mother. Because the father, I consider the father as an instruction type archetype. And the mother is the caring archetype.
Yes.
So the mother is the one that always protects and nourishes, and the father's responsibility is to instruct, is to say, this is the way you should, and this is the way. This is objectively true.
It's that inner authority.
Yeah, that's the order principle needs to be developed by the father in every child. Okay, and the caring principle needs to be developed by the mother. I think both of them can do both, obviously.
Yes.
But and as a role as a father, I started to do. I finished my book, thank God. Like 15 years after that, I just went to I started to travel. COVID fucked everything up, but I started to travel.
Yeah, it did. It really did. Wow.
I started to travel, and in one of those travel, I finished the book. I finished the book, but I finished it in English. This is my first edition was in English, and my sons are English speaking, but they live in Holland, in the Netherlands, and they said, yeah, I understand, but can you please translate it in Dutch so we can really get the gist of it, the essence better. I didn't want to do any translation. My idea was, I'm going to create a love work for my kids, and I'm going to give them a gift. I'm not going to give them a gift as a gift of money or inheritance. I'm going to give them a gift of freedom to tell them, doesn't matter what the fuck you go on into your life, make sure that you don't become a fucking slave. That is basically the
Yes.
the whole idea throughout the whole book.
Yeah.
Like this is like the central concept. Doesn't matter. So it's like the whole book was written to destroy mental and physical slavery. That was the whole thing.
Beautiful, beautiful.
That was the whole thing, to destroy that. Okay. So, and then to tell the kids, doesn't matter what you do, don't be a slave.
Yeah.
That's it. And then be moral. Leave people alone. And these are like the seven things that you have to understand, 7 principles. Live by those principles and you'll be good. So basically, and it was a small book, 100 pages, to make sure they read it, because it's thick books. They don't. I know for sure they're not going to read it.
No shit. Holy.
They're not going to read it. Okay. So I try to digest and bring everything, and then that was also a little bit the error. It was the beauty of it, but also the error of it, because the beauty is that it will change people's life, because you read it and it will really, it will really explains a lot of things childishly, very as a kid, because it was written for kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then grown-ups read it and say, "Oh, now I understand." So I say, "Okay, so thank you."
Well, and they say you have to really disseminate a lot of information to the 5th grade level in order for most human beings to understand it and get it without, their eyes glazing, like what?
Yeah. And this tells me a lot as well, because we are grown-ups, but we have childish souls still. We still child in the soul, there are children in grown-up bodies.
Yes.
A lot of them walking around.
Well, and the mental slavery, all the slavery infantilizes us human beings.
Yeah. So now the oldest one read my book, and then he was like, "Whoa!" Like I'm so grateful of because my oldest one, his name is Maxwell, and he was one of the first one who read my book, and until this day he's still saying to me, "Father, you can say everything you want, but the best gift you've given me is this information, because this information is the one who's guiding me right now." So I don't have, like, you understand my situation. I don't have this son that I love so much. I don't have it in my house. I don't have him in my house. So, and I wanted to be the one who's giving him the education, not somebody else. So for him to tell me that, you understand that is like music to my ears. You see, it's
very heartwarming.
Yeah. So now you have this guy. He was the one who told me, translate it in Dutch. So now I had I love him so much. I want him really to get the message. So I translated it in Dutch.
Beautiful.
I translated it in Dutch. So the book is also now in Dutch. So I give it in Dutch. So when he read it in Dutch, he came back. He said to me, "I have some more questions, though. I mean, I wanted to know more about God. I wanted to know more. How do you say about this, this God figure that all people, calling God, 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 but what is this, so-called God?" And he wanted to know about, morality. So give him some more examples of, in the world, what things are happening that is wrong. And how can we, so this is like, all these things started to live in him. So this is good stuff, because now
start questioning reality in the world. I mean, just the shit that goes down.
Yeah. So I said, you know what? I'm going to put down some themes that you are now discussing with me. I'm going to put them down, put it on paper, and then I'm going to start speaking to the computer and creating MP3s, and I'm going to put them online for you. And then when you have time, you listen to it. And I'm going to promise you, and I broke this promise many times, but I said to him in the beginning, I'm going to promise you, it's going to be within 15 minutes. So every week I'm going to put for you online a podcast, and then of 15 minutes. So you will hear my voice every week for 50 minutes. That's the only thing I'm asking for you. And then you can go out and do your thing, your life, and do whatever you want. Okay? So I'm not going, so I don't know what your mother's telling you. I don't know. I don't even care. Everything is okay. I just ask you as a father, 15 minutes every week of your time. And I broke that promise because some of my podcasts are 20, some of them, but I always tell them, okay, sorry for that.
I love it.
So sorry for that. It wasn't 15, and sometimes I even go up to 40. So, but he says, "Pop, don't worry. I listen to it anyway." So I, basically, just give me a little bit of your time in the week. And I promise you will not regret it, because I'm going to address all these questions that you have.
Yeah.
All of them.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So this is how like the Great Work Experience started, because it's called the Great Work Experience. Because at this point, I did understand that the great work is an internal work. I didn't even saw the great work as an external work.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, in the church, they externalize everything. I mean, now and then you will hear the pastor say, "Yeah, you have to change," but the focus is on Jesus as an external entity,
right.
And basically the Jesus they are talking about is you, and the changes that needs to be happening is internally. Okay, so by extension, it will affect the world.
Right.
Obviously.
Right.
So if everybody starts being moral, the world will be moral. This is basically
Yeah, the principle of correspondence.
Correspondence. There's that's no brainer. So I started to really see the whole work basically as an internal work. So I started to look for so my first challenge was, we need to break the ego. That's the first step. We need to break the ego. That's the first, and then break the old patterns of viewing things to replace them with new and better thoughts.
Yes. Yes.
Like one of the first things I started to teach my children and tell them is that the first order of business is having this attitude of I have the Dutch word, I don't have the English word, nederig, which is to be very receptive, to be someone who is willing.
Yes.
To learn something new.
Yeah, to be curious.
Curious. Yeah. So I want to instill that, because I want them to have this desire, because I understood one thing from the beginning. The one who's really working on themselves, and the one who's really working on the mission of the great work, externally and internally, is the one who cultivates something that I call desire. And many occultists call that desire as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So it is this desire to better yourself. It has to be cultivated. You don't be egoistic and an ass, telling yourself that this is who I am, and I'm not going to change. No.
Yeah. And that's where most people go.
That's what I mean.
Indignant, that indignation of being willfully ignorant and just closed off,
because they say, this is who I am, I'm not going to, this, nobody's going to change me. Those kind of attitudes.
Yeah.
You have to really these are ego. These are vested in, these are ego at work. It's ego at worst at work.
Yes.
And so I started to put all these themes together, and I started to put them online. I said, this is going to be your experience. I mean, you're going to experience the great work. Yeah. So if you do what I suggest to you in those podcasts, it's going to transform your life. That's basically what I told. And then to
Amazing.
the oldest one, right, that is transforming his life, for me, it's music to my ears. You see, it's music to my ears. So this is how it started. But unbeknownst to me, there were other people listening to my material. Okay, so and I started to get. I mean, Rita. She called.
Rita. Hi, Rita.
Hi, Rita. She called me one day. I said, "Hey, I have got your contact from someone who's listening to your show, and I would love to have you on my show. And I want you to talk about, also about your experience and then anyway, I end up having like 4 shows with Rita. And this one was like 2-3 years ago, and but that one was in Papiamento. Papiamento, for those who don't know, is a kind of like a Portuguese type of Spanish type of language. It is only spoken by a few people. It's not like a big thing, and it is spoken in 3 islands on the whole world. Only 3 islands speak that language, as far as I know, which is Bonaire, Curacao, and Aruba. For those who don't, many Americans know Aruba. So if you know Aruba, and beside Aruba, you get Curacao, which is the biggest island, and then you have beside Curacao, you have Bonaire. So the only 3 islands, they speak that language. So we were having this conversation in that language, in Papiamento, and the show was an esoteric show, basically, because I am an occultist. So I was talking all these concepts. I was explaining them as well, which I was explaining my own kids, but I explaining the people of the island as well. So because I really want them to be on board as well, because as the whole world here as well, we have immoral people as fuck.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
It's really because we have a lot of influence from America as well.
Yes.
That makes it a little bit harder, even because we really follow America in many aspects.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, so this is how I got to the show, and then from that she said, you know what? I really want you to really have your own show where you explain to the rest of the world these concepts. Well, I said, you know what? I don't want to really explain these concepts to the world. I want to explain them to my kids. So my focus is still my own offspring. Until I think it was Mark Pasio, in one of his programs, he said, "What the fuck are you doing with the information?"
I remember that podcast. He was a bit animated, more than usual.
Yeah. So,
I can relate though, because I get that way.
Yeah. So what the fuck are you doing? So he was very hard on us that day. I was laughing my ass off, but I said, this guy, he has a point.
Yeah, he does.
That changed the whole setting. So this is funny because when I have my podcast, in the beginning is always really directly to my sons, and the moment you start going more and more to the future, to now, you will see that the whole tone changes, everything changes.
Yeah.
Now I'm speaking to the public.
Yeah.
So Mark was very crucial in me going outside. And he was also the crucial person, me finishing even my book. Because even though I was writing the book for 15 years, there are some of the concepts I couldn't put my fingers on it. Especially this thing, this freedom thing. Because I'm explaining to you what the problem was. I couldn't get the right political structure.
Mhm.
Because, okay, so the kingdom will come. What type of political structure we will have?
Yeah.
The one that many would say is, oh, we will have monarchy. But monarchy, we already have monarchy. So for those who are not living in Holland, we still have a monarchy. Okay. So for the American listeners out there, I mean, people are still stunned to hear that we have monarchs. Yeah, we still have monarchs, and they still sit on that throne. We really have, they do really have a throne.
Yeah.
They really put in some of their ceremonies, you will see them wearing their crowns.
Yes.
They will have their capes, I call them capes.
Yeah, no, they are. The regalia is like amazingly like what? Oh, oh my.
They still have their carriage, like the golden, they have their golden, I call them carriage. I don't know if that's the right name. And then they ride in the streets of Amsterdam. Yeah, they do these things still. Yeah. They will have their ceremonies and they will really have what I call the occult ceremonies.
Yeah, no, I've seen it. I've seen it. It's quite lavish.
It's quite lavish, yeah. And then people are so proud of this bullshit.
No, and they're talking. They're hypnotized.
They're
literally in a trance.
Yeah, and then they are so in love with this master somehow.
Mm-hmm.
I say, really, you really don't get it. So anyway, so to go back to the book and to the kingdom for me was, okay, so what type of political structure will it have? And there is no political structure that I could find. So I couldn't finish the book because I'm not going to finish something that I'm not really comfortable with. You know what I mean? So I couldn't. And until I watched one of Mark's materials, and Mark says, you know what? And in Mark's material, he's talking about absolute freedom. Anarchy is the right structure for all of it. So even because before I got in contact with Mark's material, I got in contact with one book. It's called The Kybalion. And that book changed my life. Yeah. That book really changed my life.
I first read that when I was 12 years old. It was given to me by a neighbor, and it smelled terrible. A cat feed all over that box. And it was that, and there was another book by Maxwell Maltz called Psycho-Cybernetics.
Yes,
I was hooked.
Hooked, yeah. It was. I read Psycho-Cybernetic as well. Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah. So it changed, but the Kybalion changed my whole perspective on things. But it still didn't give me the formula of freedom. How can we live as a society
under those principles?
Under those principles, yeah. So I thought it through. I said, so how would a life be like under those principles? And so that drove me as well to structure the book in two pieces. First, the principles itself. So I call that the foundations, the fundamentals. So it's are like fundamental things that everybody really need to understand in such a state. Yes. Yeah. And then the second part is the natural state, what I call the natural state itself. So a state where we all will be basically sovereign, kings and queens, but over the self. Yes. Not over each other. Yeah. Yeah. So the king is the rulership is the rulership about the self, about the own being. And this is one of the most important aspects of all of us. And unfortunately, many of us in the freedom community focus our attention on the bullshit outside. Yes. Yeah. But that's the hijacking of our attention, which is necessary to even advocate for the very first principle. That is beautiful that you say that. It's a hijacking of attention, because we talk about this in my show, the Matrix, the owning your attention.
Yes.
Right? You, even in the freedom community, they are hijacking our attention because we are not focusing on what really matters.
Yeah, they're focusing, a lot of them, on shit outside ourselves rather than going within. It's like, okay, you have to rectify that divide that you're so mesmerized by within yourself, because if you're not doing it, you're a tool for them. Yeah,
you're working for them because they are getting your attention.
Absolutely. So, you're an agent of the Matrix right there.
Yeah. So my shows are less focused on current events.
Yeah, me too.
More focused on the tools to transform.
Love it. Yeah.
Because I want people to transform their being, because this is a concept that is very well known also in the cult. Being is the ability to become everything you want to become, basically. Yeah. So those things trigger my journey, but my focus is really on transforming myself.
Yeah.
I am really doing intermittent fasting. I'm really doing, I went from meat eater, like a very I know you have different views on this, Marja, but I love you anyway for everything you're doing. Don't worry.
I'm intermittent. So
the thing I'm saying is that it's not about, I don't see it black and white. I don't see it if you meat eater that you are a bad person or you are a vegetarian or because there are some vegetarians, they are idiots as shit. So the thing is,
you can't think properly if you can't form a complete protein. I'm kidding. I'm fucking kidding.
I know. But what I'm saying is that the idea is being able to transform yourself into something that you want to see yourself, as long as you don't do other people harm.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, that is something very crucial. Leaving the whole, at least people in freedom.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and then growing that way. Now we are not even growing, we are shrinking the other way. So we are becoming more and more enslaved. So as long as you know, okay, so I'm like this, I know that I'm not perfect. You have to recognize it. You have to look, you have this thing.
You have to be radically honest about what you're up to and what you're not up to. You can't bullshit yourself.
No, you have to be blatantly honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Putting the worst, you look at yourself in the mirror. People don't do that. I wasn't comfortable doing that. I have to confess myself.
Yeah, it's painful.
It's very painful.
It's not fun.
You will be like, I was in the like I was myself really focusing on changing myself, but it's the other way around. Sorry, I wasn't really willing to change myself in the beginning, right? But starting to confronting myself with a lot of questions, because writing the book put a lot of questions before me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mirror of your life.
Oh, it's going to be.
It really is to a huge degree.
Yeah, because okay, so I have to be explaining my kids certain things, but how can I have to understand that myself first. You see? Yeah. So you see the dilemma there?
Yeah.
But it means that if I start to understand myself first, I will be encountering information that I didn't encounter before.
Right.
Which require me to change at the end.
Yes. Well, and that's your direct experience of the information, the knowledge that you embody, which imparts the wisdom that you've integrated. And it's so much more powerful when what you disseminate, you've actually experienced.
Experience it.
Which is why we don't offer things that we ourselves have not undertaken.
Precisely.
And integrated.
Integrated, yeah, precisely. Because that is the reason why the website is called as well, The Great Work Experience.
I know, I love it.
Yeah, because I started to experience a whole different you can say reality. So now, so a lot of people don't have this this self-respect. I mean, self-respect. I mean, respect comes from respectare. Re means again, and spectare means look. So look again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like respectare. So look again.
Yeah. Who are you really? You know, I mean, this goes to the very first principle.
Yeah, look at yourself. Look again. So self-respect is
again true nature.
Yeah.
True nature. Come from that place of your own, of the divinity, of the connection to the all.
Precisely.
See everybody else like that.
Yeah, because if you start understanding our role on Earth, because we have a mission as a human species, we have many people don't think we have a mission because I think they believe in Darwinism bullshit.
Yeah.
They think we are here by accident or some shit like that. But we are not. We are part of, like, I call it part of the whole creation, part of the whole body of the created being. Yeah. You see? So you put us in, we can be the heart for that matter. You know what I mean? So the heart of this big, humongous cosmos. I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying something now. I
call it the heart-based new humanity.
Yeah.
Of like really being our true divine natures.
Yeah. So the question is, can you imagine if the heart says, I don't want to work properly in your body anymore? So you're gonna die. You know?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So the idea is look at our reality as being one big body, and as the human species having a part on that, in that one big drama, cosmic drama, I call it. We are part of it.
Yeah, we are.
Pretty much part of it. And so the question is, okay, so but how are we part of it? How do we relate with this? And then you will come to the point, to the principles of morality. So what is morality? Right? What are the other parties that also are being, are part of this drama, that is in the creation and the creator, and we as intermediaries, as agents, So how do we relate with all these, the two others? Because we have the nature and we have the creator. So how do we relate to them? They relate to us. Yeah. But we have to relate to them as well. So what have we done as men, as human as a whole? Even we just said we are individuals. We have our own life, our own world, and fuck the rest. This is basically what we have done. That is why we are in the mess where we are right now. Because we don't relate anymore to nature. Yeah. We don't see nature as part of us. Yeah. We see nature as a complete different aspect of us.
Yeah. A complete inversion of all three.
Yeah. And we don't see the creator as part of us. We see the creator as something, even in our religions, right? It's always an external entity.
Yeah.
It's never
outside of us, who's going to give us hell.
Yeah. Yes.
If you don't comply, it's like, what?
You go to hell. without understanding that we are all already in hell.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah? And it is based on moral principles.
Yeah. That
we don't know how to be moral. Mm-hmm. So that's why my whole work is about that. It's about morality. Yeah. That's the only thing I'm living. I don't care about, these are side effects. Every event that happens in the world are side effects.
Yes.
For me, quite honestly, we will have to come to the point that many of us, if not all of us, will have to start not only looking at the current, I think current events are good for examples, right? But I think we will have to start teaching morality more. That is something that I really hope.
Oh, I agree.
All of us will have to start be doing. So because that will put us in the position of understanding what more objective morality is.
Yeah.
and really go deep down and give examples of how that can go wrong, like you are doing as well, because many of the time when I hear your podcast, you say, yeah, I went through this, and this is how I go through it. And then you're really doing your best to, be objective about things.
Yeah.
And I really love that about you as well.
Thank you.
Yeah. So this is basically my journey. And to be honest, I have sometimes, like the last 2 weeks, no, not the last week, the week before, I got 3,000 views, like immediately after my show. And I keep being stunned by the reaction sometimes that I get, some good ones, some bad ones. But as far as I know, we need more Dutch speaking. If you are Dutch speaking, you're listening to my OS, consider being one of those, great workers out there to give people the right tools to become better. Yeah, because we need them in our side of the world. Because I think in America there are a lot of good people. I saw a lot of good teachers out there.
Yeah.
You being one of them. I think for me, I love the way you bring the feminine energy to the in the game. Put it that way. Yeah.
And then, I mean, it's part of that. It's part of that. The nurturing role, as also the creation, the generative role of disseminating information and sparking that inspiration, so that people go, oh wow, I never thought of it that way, or to connect with the feeling of, okay, this is why I keep questioning reality. We have to become comfortable with our cognitive dissonance. Instead of checking out and going, yeah, fuck this, I'm going to go get stoned, which is what most people do.
Yeah.
They go and get high, or they drink, or they shop, or whatever, or they put on the boob tube because they don't want to confront. They don't want to confront the icky feelings that they have when they don't question things that they really should be questioning, instead of going along to get along.
Yeah. So what you're saying is very crucial, because this is the problem that most of us have. We are so traumatized. I mean, humanity is traumatized.
Yes.
And we're not dealing with our problems.
Yeah.
We are trying to go, run away from our problems.
Yes. Or we're compounding them by believing the authorities within the, matrix reality that want to keep you enslaved, and people don't get it.
They don't get it because basically they don't want to confront. I mean, I'm going to give you an example, and this is going to be a very good example of what we are talking about. I was talking to a student, and I know sometimes Dutch students can be very left-brainers, so they are very logical. They're trying to be logical. If you
yes. If they do that here as well.
Yeah, if you really hear what they're saying, it's all bullshit. But anyway, so they're trying to be logical in the way they're explaining why we need all these structures of control. Government, religion, and even money. Because I told them, to really be free, we have to get rid of all three. And then to really be free, the generations after us, and even now, have to really understand natural law and the difference between what is morally right to do and what is morally wrong thing to do. We really need to understand that.
Yes, I agree.
Period. Yes. If we really want to see freedom, real freedom manifested in the world, these conditions have to be met.
Absolutely. The shitstones cannot be fixed, kids. They need to go. All of them.
They really need to go. So you cannot keep using them. It's like, I always give this example. If you plant a mango seed, the only thing you get is a mango tree. But what we are saying is like, I want to plant a mango seed. I'm going to keep using government. I'm going to keep using religion, and I'm going to keep using money, but we want a free community. It does not work like that.
No. These are not ingredients.
So I was trying, and I was really trying to get across this guy. Normally, I don't go into too much discussion, but for him, I think out of love, I saw him like puzzled with his life. I was really trying to get it to his thick skull that these things really need to go. Yeah. After 2 hours conversation, wow. I hammered it in him so much. I even called him a slave. I called.
Good. I call people slaves. Have fun with that slave life.
Yeah, I said to him. Oh, I called him stupid as well. I really said, "You are so fucking dumb." I called him a fucking slave. I did all.
Oh my God.
You know, I'm just really trying to make the ego. Yeah. Really make it out of love, because I'm someone. I mean, my coaches, if I can consider that my coach, they called me stupid as well at one point in my life. So I don't care.
Oh, I know.
I have this attitude of, is the thing that someone else is presenting me a better thought than the thought that I have now? And if it is, I think it's your responsibility to change the thought.
Yeah.
And I am like that. So if somebody is presenting me with a thought and it's way better than my previous thought, I will have the tendency, I will look at it. I'm not blind or something. I'm going to do my homework. And if it is true, I'm going to change my thought. But you have to have this attitude. You see what I mean? Not everybody has that attitude. But after 2 hours, I was really under the impression that he get it. Do you know what the fuck he responded to me after?
Oh my God, what?
He said to me, you're right, but let us not talk about it anymore.
Well, you know what? Let us agree to disagree. Oh my God.
After 2 hours, really hammering in his head. He understood it, but after I thought, okay, he understood, now he's going to change, because this is what we're talking about, the change that needs to come.
Yes.
After really hammering it, then he said, well, you're right. You're really right. It is. I didn't saw it that way. But let us talk about it, because we are traumatized, because it was too confrontational. Yeah. Because he could not understand, he couldn't fathom that being white, he could be a slave.
Oh God.
Oh God. That was only meant for colored people.
Right. Or people like myself as well. Holy shit.
Holy shit. You see what I mean? So
it's amazing the biases that come up that people don't even realize. They fucking believe that shit without question.
Without question. I tell them slavery really is not about colored people.
No, it isn't.
It is in fact, it is not at all about color. Mm-hmm. It's about choice. Mm-hmm. It's about choice. It's about removing choice. What they made it a attribute thing, which is the color.
Yeah.
But it's not the color.
Well, it's a great way to divide, to keep dividing and keep people fighting over that.
It's the same strategy they're using with all else.
Yeah, everything.
They're saying like vegan or not vegan, abortion or not abortion.
Yeah.
It's the same dynamic, the same idea, the same principles.
All the isms that keep us separated and fighting. So the powers that want to be, they just sit back and they're fucking laughing because we are falling for it.
We're falling, yeah.
Yeah. They're observing the same principles that Glenn and I are endeavoring to teach you guys. You have to wake up to it. They understand all these principles for themselves, and they're using these principles against humanity who doesn't want to understand that there is another way. There's a correct way and an incorrect way to think.
Yeah. So, and this is a problem that they will have, because people will say, yeah, there is not a right way to think or a wrong way to think. There is a right way to think.
Actually, there is.
There is. Yeah. But that's the problem. And then they try to create these groups of people. Yeah.
And they're all immoral. They're all moral relativists.
Yeah. So both groups are immoral.
Yes.
So I am not for. So when people come to me, yeah, we have to do this. No. I don't want to be part of any type of movement. Any type of movement.
Yeah.
I just want to be part of the transformation of everybody personally.
Yeah.
The inner transformation. See things the way they are, not the way you want to see them.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So
and that's one of the first things, and you have to deal with that cognitive dissonance where you go to war with the shit you thought was true, and you're realizing the realization of the cognitive dissonance is actually your true nature going, hello, wake the fuck up, okay? Wake up, because that is not who you are.
Nope, that is not. And then this is the problem. We are so traumatized that we don't have even self-respect anymore.
Yes. Yeah.
So
we see ourselves as our circumstances, our mind control, our programs, based on the comparison between all the folks in the matrix that we all look up to, that celebrity mentality. And it's ridiculous. You have to see yourself as part of the all. That is who you truly are. And if you can't, and you see yourself as a loser, you see yourself as your programming or your traumas and your victimization, well, there you go.
That is what you're going to live as well.
From within, so without.
So without, yeah. So, but how can we remove this trauma? I would say. Yeah. I mean, you are more versed here than me, but
well, I mean, you're just as versed in it as we have to go to the Hermetic natural law principle, starting with the very first principle, the principle of mentalism. We have to understand that, and we have to embody that. We have to up-level our thought quality, our thinking. Freeing our minds is based on that first principle.
Okay. So because the point is that a lot of people, they don't even want to do, look, like I'm giving them the tools, but you have to go to you are somewhere in life.
Yes.
To pass some barriers, because a lot of people have a lot of excuses why they don't do things.
Yeah.
And those excuses, they are basically most of the time based on their traumas.
Absolutely. And so by identifying with your trauma is going to hold you in that trauma space. You have to see yourself beyond your trauma as the divine creative being that you are, because when you start thinking that way, all the trauma deactivation gets activated incrementally, one after the other, after the other, after the other, because you are up leveling from victim to consciousness to your true nature.
Yeah, but what I do teach is that this is one principle that I just talked about it as well, but it's the desire.
Yes. Yeah.
But you have to have the desire to change.
You have to have the desire. Absolutely. You have to want to end your suffering.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, in the matrix, suffering and victimization is weaponized. It's rewarded. Fucking rewarded. Shit. Yeah. You get money for being less than who you are. It's like, stop. I can't.
Yeah. But the people, and one of the things that I, through my years of conversations with many people as well, not only people in my show, for instance, but also outside that I get around me, many times they don't even have the desire to change.
Yeah.
They don't even have the desire to know truth.
Yeah.
They are so traumatized as well. They really want to. They're tired because they go to work as a slave from.
Well, the matrix is completely plugged into all of their energy systems.
Yeah, and then they suck their energy. And
then there's no desire, there's no inspiration there. There's just they're fulfilling their script and their role as a complete utter slave. And then they pass it on to their children, who do the same thing generation after generation after generation,
And then they don't ask themselves questions.
Yeah.
Why should I do this? Why should I do that?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
So, and then try to get the answer. I think personally, I do think, because in my journey, Marja, in my journey, every time I ask a question, I get the answer.
Absolutely.
I do believe, and this is a belief. Because I don't have any scientific basis to explain it.
Yeah. Well, we don't need that, because it
Not
cannot
always.
be explained. The all cannot be explained.
No, it cannot be explained.
Yeah. But everything in the all is already in existence. So the answers to any question that we have is already there. The solution is already there. So we have to line up to it.
I do believe that if you have a question and you really want to know the answer to it, you will be one way or the other, the universe will let you to it.
Yes.
You will get the answer.
Yes.
Doesn't matter how it comes. It's not for you to decide, but you will have the answer. So the only thing your part is to desire it, but desire it so much in such a way that it will have this idea of, if you don't desire it so much, you can even die.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your life has to, like you have to desire it so much that your life depends on it, kind of a way.
Absolutely.
If I explain myself rightly.
Yeah.
So this is like the type of people we need. But because you wake up 8 o'clock in the morning and go to sleep and come back at home at 6 o'clock at the evening, or at night even, and you have to cook, clean, do all these things that everybody else has to do, then you're so tired.
Yeah.
You're not using your virgin, I call it a virgin energy. The morning energy is the best energy. I do my studies in the morning.
Yeah, me too. I'm up very early.
Very early.
Very, very, very early. I have my things that I need to do, by the time it's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, where most people are still asleep. I have done my self-care. I've done all my things. I am, I'm lit, man.
Yeah.
Fucking lit up.
But I study in the morning because I use that, I call it the virgin energy, because it's clean, it's new, and then it helps you focus.
Yes.
And that is also the reason why I changed my diet, so I can have a better focus.
Yeah.
So I can have I can feel a little bit better, because my mind is my body is an extension of my mind.
Yeah.
So if I take care of your body, you take care of your mind.
Yeah. And that's one of the crucial steps
in
the initiatory process of like unpacking all the mind control and trauma. You have to take care of your body. Your body, our bodies, kids, are the vehicle through which divine creative energy runs through us so that we can move formless into form.
Into form, yeah.
Yeah. And do it with great consciousness and purpose.
Yeah.
Intention.
Yeah, because at the end we're all parts of consciousness.
Yes.
Of the higher consciousness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Expressing itself.
Yeah.
For itself.
Yeah.
And in a sense, we will have to go from this traumatized human race to a more traumatized human race, to a more human race.
Yeah.
Right. And this is the great work, people. There is nothing else is the great work. I mean, giving kind of like a show only on current events, those kind of things, is not the great work. The great work is the change that needs to be done in all of us.
Yeah. And it starts internally. It starts
internally. Yeah. It starts internally. So this is how I based all my materials, is the internal work. I mean, there's only one, I can remember only 1 or 2 times that I talked about the COVID pandemic, for instance. Mm-hmm. And because one of my students online has asked me to address it. He asked me to address the Great Reset. It's the book from Schwab, I think it's the author. Mm-hmm. He just put it plainly in there in the book how they're going to be working in the scamdemic, in the pandemic. And then I was discussing that book in conjunction with another concept, which is order. So what is true order versus what they are presenting to the public as
Right.
being order,
Right.
It's not order.
Compliance.
Yeah, it's slavery, right? But this is what I wanted to tell you. People really there is a gap in the way humanity understand basic principles. There's a very big gap. They don't really understand what freedom really is. In fact, we cannot even imagine what freedom really is.
Yeah.
Because if you tell me that there is no other solution, if somebody comes to me, many times they do, by the way, they come and say, there is no other way but using money, religion, and politics to organize our affairs. If you cannot imagine that, you are not awake. You are pretty much asleep.
Yeah.
Awakening is not a good feeling. I mean, the good feeling is okay.
It isn't. It's like, holy fuck. What the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah. So a lot of the new agers, they want to just meditate and have that good awakening feeling, they say.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Not take action. Oh, everything's allowed. It's all good.
Yeah, and one of the excuses I hear a lot as well, Marja, is, what can I do alone about it? This is something I hear like all
and it's like, dude, it starts with you. It starts with you internally.
The funny thing is, you know how many people told me that bullshit?
I do. I hear it all the time from hecklers. Hecklers, when I'm at a speaking thing, people throw that shit at me, or they tell me, I know what you need, lady. It's like, oh God. Yeah. And it's like, okay, but you know what? I think it's important, though, to put ourselves in front of an audience that would normally throw rocks at you, because it's if you get to one person and blow their minds so that they really start to question themselves, because they're on that teetering edge, because they know something is way fucked up and something needs to happen, something needs to change. That makes it worth it, So I always tell people, you can't speak to echo chambers all the time. It's good to have agreement. It's good to have conversations where there is, a common thread, one heart, one mind, and we're aligned. Like we're having a conversation here, and we're going to be putting this out into both our audiences and all these other platforms where other people are going to be able to connect with us. That is part of the purpose, because, there are way too many human slaves that are out in the fringes, that are like on their own, looking for a way out. Their fucking crappy, shitty slave lives.
Yeah, because they cannot imagine it any other way.
Yeah.
They think they are awake.
Yeah.
And this is a propaganda that has been for years.
It is so much propaganda.
I mean, the whole occult study is about freedom. It's about morality. It's about how to understand natural laws, also how to understand nature, and how to relate with nature, and how you can be. There are also parts of it that's how to be sovereign. So how you can be sovereign upon the self.
Yeah.
But also upon the elements, the elements that influence all of us. You can be master over them. Yeah. So this is basically the journey. But it's a system of knowledge that deals with all aspects of life, right? Yeah. But we pick only a few of them, and we say, okay, this is then the great work. No, the great work is the internal stuff, and the internal stuff you need a knowledge of everything, basically.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So
cool. How are you doing, sweetheart? We've been at it for about an hour and a half. What was your energy?
I'm feeling fantastic.
Awesome. This is a great talk. How about we go another 5 to 10 minutes and wrap it up?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So What are you up to? What are you up to currently?
So currently, I am doing. I am revisiting my book. It's called Anarchos. For those who don't know, it's Anarchos. You can look it up on Amazon for the American audience. It's called Anarchos.
Okay.
Anarchos.
Okay.
Anarchos.
We'll have all of Glenn's links in the show notes. So
Yeah,
we'll have
and then there you can go and you can buy the book there. And but I'm right now I'm revisiting it, and I'm planning to provide a special edition with hopefully I can get Mark's forward in time.
Cool.
Because I asked Mark to write something for me, and then I think he will be giving his blessing as well in terminologies of giving some comments on my material.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I like that because I want to learn. I'm learning as everybody else. So
I know the learning doesn't stop, kids.
No. So I do understand. I understand certain topics better than other people, but I don't have this. I'm just learning as everyone. I'm learning even more every day. I'm learning more and more and more. So I love it. I mean, and I'm doing my shows, my Dutch show. These are live shows. These are kind of like classrooms, and people can attend if you speak Dutch anyway. And then, but even if you don't speak Dutch, I mean, you can attend. But it's in Dutch. I don't know if you can understand everything. But I deal now with Kabbalah. I'm explaining Kabbalah as a tool to develop yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be using Tarot as well as a tool to develop it, because we are now talking about Tarot as a to divine, like no how do you call it? Let me see. To the future, to kind of like how do you call it? I just lost it.
Is it like predictive or?
Thank you. Predict the future. We use Tarot nowadays to predict the future.
Yeah.
But Tarot is not.
It's very deep. The symbology and archetypes are like.
These are archetypes.
Just like with the Kabbalah too. I mean, the Kabbalah as a way to navigate reality.
Yeah, is a way to navigate. So that's
internally, actually, mind, heart, mind, body, soul,
yeah.
And also the external of waltzing in and out of the matrix.
It's a pattern. It's a pattern.
Yeah,
so,
it really is.
And then I'm explaining these patterns and how to use them in your own life. So again, from my first show, I mean, in my first show, I talk about 7 principles for a moral society, because my focus is to get the society having the right understanding what moral behavior really is.
Yes, we have to start there.
Yeah, we have a very strange thought about morality. We think morality as being something religious, maybe, or even they're even talking about everybody having their own morals. If everybody has their own morals, how can we coexist together? Because if somebody believes that killing someone else, without even warning or whatever, so what we want to do is what I want to do in my show is so now I'm doing Kabbalah, and then after that, which I'm going to be doing Tarot, and then after Tarot, I think I'm going to be I'm going to be talking about them both together. So I'm going to talk, so it's going to be, so I'm going to first deal with Kabbalah separately, and I'm doing kosher Kabbalah, because many people don't know that there are three types of Kabbalah. The first type is I call them kosher Kabbalah, which is, and it is written with a K, with a K. Mm-hmm. With a K is a kosher Kabbalah. Kabbalah with a Q is Hermetic Kabbalah. Mm-hmm. And then Kabbalah with a C is Christian Kabbalah. This is where like some of the church members started to use Kabbalah as well for their, and then but they put some their own type of philosophy.
Wow, I love it.
Yeah, so it's not a belief system. Many people think that you have to believe in Kabbalah. It's not. It's just a pattern. It's a blueprint.
Yeah, no, it really is a tool.
It's a tool. Yeah,
A really
good,
very good
Yeah.
toolkit, rather.
It's a toolkit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So but I tell them all the time. We as occultists start in Egypt. We don't start before Egypt, because before Egypt, like this information, they go way beyond Egypt even. Yeah. But now many of our materials are based on the Egyptian material. So we start at Egypt to really understand our Western philosophies and our Western world. We really need to start at Egypt with those occult information in Egypt.
Right.
So you can get a sense why we are doing the things we are doing now. Yeah. So Kabbalah is nothing new. I mean, it's not the Jews who started Kabbalah even. Like the thought processes, the ideas, they just changed name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because in Kabbalah they're talking about let's give you an example. They talk about in Kabbalah about Ayin and Ayin Sof. Ayin is absolutely nothing, and Ayin Sof is absolutely everything.
Yes.
Being titles for the creator.
Right.
And in Egyptian mythologies, they call everything absolutely everything. They call it if I'm not mistaken, Nu of Nuit. You see, and then you have Atum Renef. That's all aspect of being, right? Of the creator. So you have different names for the same thing. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Yeah. So it's just through time.
Yeah.
Giving different names,
Yeah.
but
they get adopted.
They get adopted. Yeah. And then depending on the culture, that's why you have like a kind of like a split between the Eastern culture and the Western culture in terminologies of esoteric knowledge. But at the essence, they are talking about the same thing, because the truth is singular, is absolute. Yeah. So this is basically what I'm doing. I'm trying to get this concept across to people, at least in my environment, and I'm trying to be the best conveyor of truth as possible. And then I do it through my books, I do it through my websites, I do it through my podcasts, I do it through Eigan Pad, I do it through different mediums, I do it through interviews. I'm really trying to get
and your everyday life.
In my everyday life. Yeah. I am trying to be as more as well, but for me it's not that difficult, because I try to say I leave people alone.
Yeah, me as well.
To the point.
Well.
Yeah, to the point that they are trying to push me to do something that I don't want to do.
Yeah.
Then I will open my mouth. Then I will tell you how it is. Then I will say this is the way to,
We are aligned in that, Glenn.
It's a very different Glenn. So now you're gonna hear my voice. So yeah. I'm not going to stay silent. So yeah. So this is what I'm doing. Is I'm living, and in my private life, I have a family. I have work. I have to work as well as everybody else. So there is no excuse for this work. This work has to be done anyway.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. It encompasses
everything.
My everyday moment to moment living.
Yeah. So it's a conscious. What I want to say to your audience. It's a conscious process.
Yes.
You have to wake every day up. Every day I wake up, and then you have to say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to change. I'm going to. So look at myself. I start to order my thoughts.
Wow, that is amazing. So we were talking about one time we were talking about journaling. So I have my little thoughts. A negative thought comes up. I write this shit down.
Yeah.
And I get the intuitive hit where it's coming from, where this erroneous bullshit thought is coming from.
Yeah.
And you do the inner work to shift it, to eradicate it, to cross it off, and I apply the principles.
Yeah.
And usually it's a specific principle that I need to put it to the test.
Yeah. Yeah. So the things that I love to play with a lot when I have a bad idea is try the opposite.
Yes. Yeah.
Just try the opposite. Just like if I hate someone,
The polarity.
just use the polarity. Yeah. So like if I hate someone, yeah. But it is very difficult because like if I hate someone, like your ex, no, if you hate someone, how can you love them? Because it's you will have to love them anyway. Because if you hate someone, it's an aspect of you.
Yes, it is. It is an aspect of you, a lower part of you.
Yeah.
So my go-to with that is to see everybody divine. Maybe if I pick up on something about them, it's because they don't see themselves as divine. Therefore, they cannot see me as divine.
Yeah.
And that it just frees up a lot of bullshit. The bullshit just goes.
Yeah. Because we really need to start seeing each other as yourself, basically.
Yes.
So,
absolutely.
And especially if those people, they hovers around you. So like they, one way or the other, they were attracted by your magnetism one way or the other.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And if they tell you something, then you know, oh, this is how stupid I am then. Yeah,
it's like, oh, I did that. I did that.
Yeah. Sorry for that.
That is the ultimate, with freedom. And I tell people this, and I think this is where a lot of people get really tripped up. It is massive self-responsibility.
Yeah. Yeah.
You are responsible for all of it, my friends.
You know what I have found in my studies, and maybe we're gonna, wrap up with this. In my studies, I have found out that what I call them the dark occultists, what they did very masterfully, very good, is to externalize the majority of the things that needs to be internalized. So everything
what they did. I have the chills from that.
Yeah, they have done a phenomenal work to bring everything to the external world instead of into the internal world, because that is where you really can make change. The change really happens there.
Yeah.
And then they have convinced people, really convinced them that somebody else can be responsible for their own doings.
Yes.
Really. And then for the simple things that you do, like going to vote, or those simple things shows me that you still don't get it. Yeah. You cannot externalize your responsibilities because the universe, quite frankly, doesn't work like that.
No, it does not.
No. In fact, we are a mirror of higher beings, of higher consciousness, of the creator itself. We are the mirror of it, right? And so our workings, internal workings, how we work and how we relate to the creator and the what I call the creature, which is nature, how we relate to nature, it is based on the laws that the creator put here on earth. It is based on those laws, and those laws make it possible for free human beings to live with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it. That's what it is. People will say, but these are also laws. Yeah, but they are like 7 basic principles. So it's way better than having piles of books of laws of
laws that have been repealed and repealed again. And I mean, it's so confusing.
Yeah,
it's actually quite simple.
It's simple. It's a quite simple thing, and these are there to make us understand, that we are creating our own happiness. We are creating our own demise, our own underground, our own hell. So heaven and hell is something that happens on earth. It's not something that's going to happen when you die. So for those who still believe this bullshit nonsense, I hate to be the one to bring the bad news, but hell, we're already in hell, more or less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's in the matrix, kid.
Hell.
It's in the world, and the world is not the planet.
The world is not the planet. And so we have to start looking, and this is the way I explain it, is to look at this information and see how we can apply to ourselves.
Yes.
And how can we become better. The Egyptians really believe in this idea of understanding natural law, like they call that Ma'at, the god of natural law, you can say. And then when you die, basically you will encounter Anubis, which is another god of the Egyptian god, and then Anubis will bring you to this goddess. It's a goddess, by the way. It's just also very interesting. And she will have a scale, and then she will put on the one end of the scale will put a feather, and the other part of the scale will put your heart, and then it will scale. So it will scale your heart against a feather, the feather of truth. Right? Because the Egyptian belief that everyone has to have this desire, this heart of truth, this so to look for it, to understand natural law, to have this awe, to be in awe of creation. I always tell my listeners, have you ever wondered why the planets stay their course without you intervening, controlling? It stay their course. Have you ever wondered why the seas go this further and then they draw back? Then they go this further and then they draw back. Have you ever wondered these things? Sit down and understand how a small creature can transform itself and become a butterfly. How awesome it is if you just, take your time in a day, because we are so much in a rush. We are so much rushing our days and doing this and doing that. We don't even have time to enjoy the beauty of creation, which is meant to be enjoyed, and we don't do these things anymore. And then the Egyptians, their whole culture is based on being a being that respect, understand nature.
Yes.
And that is called morality. That's morality. So my first was about these 7 principles of order, of love, of having the right action, acting wisdom. These are qualities that we all have to develop. So now I am giving the Kabbalah lessons, and I'm using the Sefirot, the 10 Sefirot, as a way to explain the qualities that we all have to have internally.
Oh, beautiful.
Internal work, yeah. So this is basically my work, and in the near future, I have one or few. I have few interviews coming up as well. Cool. Also in Holland, because people are listening to my shows and those kind of things. So I'm starting to get traction in Holland as well. So the universe has been good to me, to be honest.
Very good.
Am I happy? Not really, because we are still shitty people. Not really. There's still shitty people walking around. I think we can all be really, really happy when we see the world starting to understand freedom in the real world, the real freedom.
Yeah.
Then you will start seeing me being really happy. I'm still struggling. I have my things.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm being very, very angry in my shows.
Yeah. I feel you.
Yeah. Because I explain this every time, Marja.
Yeah.
I explain every time. How can you be angry at stupid things as, for instance, football? Yeah, at sport.
It's weird. It's very weird. And I've been there. I was there once upon a time, and it's like mind blowing where you realize, wow, that is being hijacked right there.
Yeah.
Things that make no difference in your life personally, it's just sucking your attention.
Yeah, they're sucking, and then I say, but you don't even like, and that is what I say, the wrong placement of anger.
Yeah.
Don't place your anger there.
Yeah.
The right place to put your anger is when other people are trying to take your freedom away, take choices away.
Yes.
Your choice.
Yeah.
So give you an example. This is where I give examples of things that are happening right now. So, like from the scandemic example, right? You have two choices: either you inject or you test. And I was one of the first. I think one of the first things on the island that says, "I want either."
Yeah.
Should be, that's a choice. But see, they give you two choices, and you think I'm free to choose, but it's not true.
Yeah. No, it isn't.
You see?
Amazing. Yeah.
So the choice of not choosing has to be there as well.
Yeah.
And still be free to be yourself.
I don't know any other way. You don't know any other way either.
So I always know. I always say no. And then that's the magic word. No.
Yeah. The lost word of no. I love
that's
that.
The lost word. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
All right. Thank you, Glenn. Oh my God. My God is all that is. Just amazing conversation.
Yeah.
I love you, my friend. You are doing such amazing work. Thank you. Thank you so much for gracing my program, my show, with your presence and your wisdom. I love everything that you're doing. I wish I knew Dutch because, anyways, it's okay. I get it. I get the flavor. I get the essence of who you are, what you're all about, and what you're doing. And so do you have any, and we'll have all your information in the show notes. Do you have anything to say before we?
No, not really. I just want to thank everybody who's listening to this podcast as well. And because if you're listening, that means that you understand that something needs to change at least. And I'm glad, because some people don't even take the time. So for that, I am very, very happy. I do have some materials in English though, but they are minimum. They're most of the time they are my articles. I translate them in English, Dutch, and Spanish. I have Spanish as well. And so thank you, Mayra, for bringing me in your show, because I think you are one of the few people that I really respect in this matter. And
thank you so much.
Yeah, I love your the energy that you bring to the topic, because that is something that is unique, at least for me. And I would love to have you one more time in my show one of these days.
We'll do some fun things again.
We're gonna do some fun things together. Yeah.
All right, sweetheart.
Fix one for us too, especially for us too again.
Yes. All right, my loves, that is it for today. Thank you to Glenn Tramm. Thank you all for tuning in. And until next time, here is to Love, Truth, and Beauty. Mwah! Bye-bye, sweethearts.
Bye-bye.